You're listening to Hunting the Front Lines, part of the Praying and Slaying podcast network. This show is led by retired Army Sergeant Justin Wilson and dedicated to the men and women hunters who serve or have served in the U.S. military and chase game wherever they're stationed. From on-base hunts to wild ground just outside the wire, Hunting the Front Lines is your go-to resource for scouting new terrain, learning the ropes, and making the most of every opportunity at your next duty station. Now let's dive in.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Hunt the Front Lines podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wilson, and today's guest is an old Army buddy of mine. He was a canine handler. We were actually deployed to Iraq together a couple times. We'll probably get into some stories from there. Mr. Todd Neveau. I'm not going to go into his background right now. I'll let him talk about that. But today's episode or segment is going to be about the back to basic. We're going to talk about that. Todd's not a big hunter and stuff like I am, so we probably won't touch on much hunting stuff today. It'll be mainly just talking about basic training, talking about crazy stories we saw in the Army, deployed, whatever, so get this stuff out there. Some of the stuff we talk about, you guys will probably may not believe it, but we saw it, lived it. Yeah, it happened. So sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. It's been a long time.
Your video's not showing up.
No. I just downloaded the app, so let's see what happens. It's just showing my Gmail icon right now.
Yeah. So that's an old picture too. Hey. Oh,
yeah,
man,
that picture's like
off. Take that hat
off. Don't be mad.
Get that hat out of here. Oh my God, I forgot.
You should feel bad the way the Super Bowl went. Have some sympathy.
Why?
Because we got embarrassed.
I'll say this, man. I was surprised you guys made it that far.
Yeah.
Because he's still a new quarterback.
Yeah. Well, the schedule wasn't super strong either.
Well, it's the same with us. I hate the Colts. I can't stand the Colts. I'm a Broncos fan. Yeah. And we had a pretty easy schedule too. We played a couple tough games, but nothing right home about. So, it's hard to get a feel on how your team's going to be when the schedule is just that simple.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the Broncos they got a lot of close games that went their way, and I don't think, similar to the Patriots, but for different reasons, I don't think the team was as strong as their record suggested.
Not even close. Yeah. There's a couple games that we lost we should have won, like the Indianapolis game. We should have won that. Game. There was a couple games we won that it shouldn't have been close. But somehow we came back and got it. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do this coming season. I don't think it's going to be like it was.
Yeah.
We got rid of Greenlaw, got rid of him. We signed a couple of our guys. We haven't really done much in free agency so far. Sean Payton's a very smart guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed with his coaching this past year.
Yeah, I don't think he's not been the same since he left New Orleans.
No.
He's still good, but the game has evolved. And I don't know, like you saw Belichick, like the game moved past him, and
yep.
Even with what's his face from the Steelers moving on, you know what I mean?
Tomlin. Yep.
Yeah, Tomlin. So I don't know. The game's changing. In some ways, I don't think it's changing for the better. But I don't know. It's cool to shake things up too. You know what I mean, and see different faces doing different things. But I'm not a huge fan of the kickoff, the new kickoffs. I hate it.
Yep.
I don't hate it, but I kind of dislike that you're only getting the top seed from each conference, getting a bye going into the playoffs. Yep. And I know it's good for the NFL because, they added week 18. And so week 18 kind of has a lot of playoff implications for teams. So it's kind of a de facto playoff week, but they're getting all all 16 games that week. So the NFL's on the upside and they're making more money, but I don't know. It was nicer. I don't know. To me, it was better when you had the top 2 seeds getting that bye week. And then, it wasn't like it was unheard of for wild card teams to have these crazy runs through the playoffs. I mean, you look at what the Giants did, those 2 last Super Bowls that they won. I mean, I think they were road teams the whole time. So
that's how the Colts were when Peyton was there and they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we were the road team every week. We were
we
were a wild card and we come back and won it. We won the whole Super Bowl. I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can be done. I don't know. It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's changed a whole lot. I don't know, man. I can remember sitting in Iraq with you arguing back and forth about the Colts and Patriots. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, those are, I don't know, like that to me, and granted I'm biased because, being a Pats fan, but I think like 2000s football was like the height of the NFL. It was great. You know what I mean? And there was some really great games through the teens too. I don't think the teens were too much different. But I don't know, the NFL's killing it for me. Like, like I'm like so fucking tired of the NFL lecturing everybody with their stupid fucking slogans on the helmets and the end zones and shit. And it's like, come on, really? Like, these guys are end bombing each other every 5 seconds, and then you got end racism in the end zones. Like, really? Like, right message. Maybe you're the wrong messenger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know of anybody who's a fan of racism, but like, it seems like maybe if you got guys wearing different colors on the team, they're kind of a fan of it at that moment.
Yeah.
So, and then the cardboard fans during COVID, I was just like, what are you guys doing? But that, and like, it would be nice too if you could just like find one place to watch a football game. Now it's just like, well, who's streaming the game this week? Am I going to have to, find some pirate stream, or am I going to be able to watch it? And it's just ridiculous.
It's a pain in the ass, man. I don't know. Me and my wife were talking about it, and she asked me who I had coming on this week, and I told her. And she's like, "Where do you know him from?" I said, "Well, we were deployed together twice." Yeah. I said, "Then we, kind of crossed paths throughout the Army and stuff." I said, "So, I said I can remember sitting in Iraq talking to him about football till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning." I said, just because I had nothing to do. He was on shift, but they didn't have shit going on at the moment, so we just sat there and bullshit about football. I said, we were asking each other shit. We'd text each other back and forth. When we got back to the States, I saw the Pats lost. Ha ha, fuck you. He'd do the same when the Colts lost. I said, we'd go back and forth for years. I said, man, it's just football back then was fun because you had Manning, you had Brady, you had, those teams. Yeah. Even the Steelers had teams back then. Yeah. And it's like nowadays you just don't really have those rivalries. It's just not like that. It's changed so much. Yeah.
Well, what's cool too is, despite being deployed, AFN was always really great about playing like all those primetime games, which, and like when you and I were downrange, the Patriots and the Colts were like at the height of their popularity. And I mean, you got basically all of those games, you know what I mean? Yes. Which was really cool too. So that's one thing, it was good for being deployed at a time when your team was really good. Like, you always got to watch all their games if you were, if you were lucky enough to not be on a rotation or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was sweet, man. That's, so the segment I'm doing now, I'm doing like, it's called Back to Basic.
Yeah.
And I'm having guys come on and talk about their experiences in basic, but with you tonight, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about our deployments because there was some wild, dumb shit that happened down there too. So it's like, and I did an intro before you came on. I was doing the intro, and I even told the listeners, I'm like, listen, some of the things we talk about, you guys may not believe, but trust me, they happened. Yeah. We lived it. We witnessed it. It happened.
Yeah.
So,
oddly enough, I also work for a basic training battalion right now, so I'll leave which battalion out just for my own self-preservation. Yeah. But I'm happy to talk about both my experience going through it and my experience working for one right now. So,
the reason why I did this,
the
reason why I started this segment is, so I think it was Netflix. They had that special come on about the Marine Corps boot camp.
Sure.
instantly I'd run into friends of mine around here. As I moved back to my hometown, we left Montana, moved back here. We're leaving here in 5 years to go God knows where yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But I see all my old buddies and I'm like, man, is that really what boot camp's like? And it's like I think I've told the same stories probably 100 times. Like, you know what? I'm going to start a segment on my podcast and just have guys come on and talk about it. And just guys from, all branches.
Yeah.
And just talk about what it's like. And I want to get it from the trainee's perspective. And then I've also had a couple drill sergeants, like active duty drill sergeants now and past, come on and talk about their experiences. Because basic training's changed a lot since me and you were in.
Sure.
It's completely.
Believe me, I see it every day.
Oh yeah, I know you do now, especially working there. It's like, me, even going back to Leonardwood in 2000, I think it was 2012, as an instructor, I saw how much it changed. And I was like, wow, what the hell's going on? And then now I live an hour and 20 minutes from Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And going down there and seeing the way the regs have changed, like 670-1.
Yeah.
Blows my mind, dude. I never ever thought I'd see guys with earrings in uniform.
I keep a tighter haircut than basically everybody I work with.
Yes, dude, it blows my mind. I saw a girl that had her hair halfway down to her butt. I was like, what the hell?
So another interesting thing too was when I came in, I didn't have an MOS, so I didn't go through a complete MP OSA. I actually went to basic training at 161 on Fort Jackson at first. And then they looked at all my ASVAB scores and stuff. And then right about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through, they took me over to the Strom Thurmond building on Fort Jackson. And then, they said, hey, here's all the jobs you want to do. I picked MP because I wanted to be a canine handler. And they sent me over to link up with Charlie 787, who was just going into their I think they call it phase 3. Like they had different phases.
Yeah.
Like at Jackson, they always had red, white, and blue phase, and then but they've got like 5. They had like 5 phases for MP school, if I remember correctly. So I got to see like 2 totally different sides of the world as far as that goes, because like as you know, basic training across the Army, whether it's Jackson, Benning, Sill, Leonardwood, they're not the same. Some of the basic standards are the same, but how they arrive at those standards and how long you spend there can be very different. And like I kind of figured that out when I got to 787. We were having our first like chow formation, and at the end of the drill sergeant putting out what he was going to put out, he's like, you guys got that? And I yelled out, I was like, who? And like I saw people wanting to like break parade rest and like look at me, and my battle buddy was like, dude, we don't fucking say that here, like we haven't been given permission. And I was just like, oh, okay, roger that, I won't do that again, you know what I mean? So but yeah, I mean, it was definitely very different. I'll say this, man, like the drill sergeants at MP school for the most part were way harder nosed than the drill sergeants at Fort Jackson. I had a couple of like pretty tough dudes that were at Fort Jackson, but like across the board, like the drill sergeants at Leonardwood were definitely they were harder to make happy when it came to like standards and stuff like that. So but yeah, standards now, man, like it is not good. I'm proud to continue to like help the Army because I believe in the mission of the Army. I don't really believe in a lot of the reasons what it gets used for, but I believe in the mission of the Army. And it kind of like, I don't know, man, like it disappoints me a lot when I go to work and I see that like you have cadre who just like don't have the kind of like pride in the uniform and like how they carry themselves. The trainees, I mean, like their grooming standards are kind of fairly strict because trainees have to, have a bit of a tighter standard. Males basically can't have hair and whatnot. And, but yeah, I mean, as far as like standards adherence, for the most part, it's pretty unimpressive. One thing I will say, I think the Army's gotten better at though, is like how they go about like day-to-day fitness and stuff like that. It's not just the old like 2120 or PRT. Like they're doing a lot of stuff
Yep.
with physical trainers and like doing more advanced programs, which makes me a little jealous, because they seem to do a better job with that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that changed because old timers like us, everybody's getting hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the one thing friends of mine would ask me, because I do my last probably 6 years in the Army, I had like 6 surgeries. I mean, I was averaging pretty much one a year. And
Yeah.
buddies of mine are like, dude, what's going on with your body? I was like, well, when's the last time you strapped 100 pounds to your back and went for 12 or 13 miles?
Yeah.
That's what we do once a month. And that's just in garrison. Now, when you're deployed,
Yeah.
it's a lot more. You're putting a lot more pressure on your body and a lot more things in your body we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think they started finally seeing, look, we got all these guys that are constantly getting hurt and they're out of the fight. So how do we fix that? So I'm glad they're doing that. I mean, I know when I retired, they were still doing the push-ups, sit-ups, and the 2-mile run.
Yeah.
I know that changed right after I retired. I know they changed it and they were doing
The combat fitness tests,
Yeah.
as well as the new APFT.
Yep.
And they've even modified that sense where, like I think they got rid of the combat fitness test, and it's still the APFT, but like it's all of these like various stations like deadlift, like a medicine ball throw, sprint drag carry. I think they still 2-mile run, and I think they do like the plank and some other things, but it's involved. It's more of a, it's an overall fitness thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but yeah.
So I did not know you went through basic training like that. So how did that work? Because like me, I signed up. I knew right off the bat I was going MP. Did that.
Yeah.
Where I went to basic training shut down now. I think a rapper bought it.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was now.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? McClellan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember which rapper bought it. He bought the whole thing, but it was all done right there. All 16 weeks right there. So when you signed your contract, you just signed just to go to basic. You didn't sign for an MOS. You didn't have a gel.
Yeah, my entrance in the Army was less than conventional. I actually joined the Army as a on the deferred entry program for the National Guard in 2000 as a junior. Had to get my parents to sign waivers and all that fun stuff. And was drilling across my senior year. Was less than impressed with what they were doing there. It was just super boring. And this was 2000, so like nothing was really going on. And I joined because I wanted an opportunity to be able to pay for college, and I was I was a football player through high school and junior high, and still wanted to like be in the team atmosphere, wear a uniform. So I wanted to serve. But during my senior year, when I was looking around at like schools and colleges and stuff, the Navy junior ROTC commander at my high school told me about ROTC scholarships, and so I applied. I had pretty mediocre grades when I was in high school, and really had no expectation that they would pick me up. But I got picked up for a 4-year ROTC scholarship at Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina. Was doing that for a couple of years, and me being young and dumb, I didn't realize that the degree path that I chose at that time was a 5-year degree path for computer science. And so my second year, I got a waiver to pick up, what was it? I think it was 3 extra classes, and I tried to take 21 credit hours in one semester. I failed a couple courses, and our commander, Lieutenant Colonel Trankovich, who was a really, really cool guy, was like, "Hey, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we got to send you packing." And they were like, "You can pay back your tuition up to this point, or you can enlist." And my family didn't really have a lot of money, and they certainly weren't going to foot the bill for me failing school. And I was going to enlist anyway. I was going into the army anyway, so I enlisted, and that was the summer of '03. So
Okay.
we were just kicking off into Iraq and all that fun stuff at that time, and so
Yep.
it was definitely uh, like an uneasy time to know like what the future was going to hold for me going into the army.
Yeah.
But I believed in at least I'm doing what you say you're going to do, and I said I was here for the army, so I enlisted and went in that way. So when I went in, they told me I had to report to the 120th on Fort Jackson in September of that year. Basically just off the street. My parents dropped me off at the 120th, and in process, I hand them an envelope, and they looked at me like, what is this? Who are you and why are you here? And um, they at that time they had activated guard and reservists that were the cadre for the 120th who were getting trainees all the stuff that they need and getting them shipped out to the basic training battalions, and they
Yep.
didn't know what to do with me. So I got issued the marshmallow PTs, and then they told me to go stay in the holdover bay with the holdovers, which for those that don't know, like the holdovers are the kids that they got some kind of problem. They
Yep.
don't want to be in the army, or they can't get in the army because they have health problems, or they're suicidal. And we were told sit here in the bay. You can't sit on any of the bunks, and that's all there is bunks and wall lockers.
Yeah.
And they were like, sit on a tile floor until somebody comes to get you for chow. And they would just leave us there to rot. And I remember the staff sergeant's name to this day. I mean, I won't give it just because it's just not right. But
Yeah.
I remember the staff sergeant who was in charge of the holdovers, and I would go to her and be like, "Sergeant, what do I got to do to in process? What do I got to do to get in, with one of these fills?" And she would fucking cuss me out and be like, "I'll fucking come get you when I'm ready," and this, that, and the third. And I actually got I would what I would do was just to in process. I would see, like, I'd ask around to the trainees that were there, like all like the regular bays,
Mhm.
what they were going to be doing that day, and if it was something that I needed, like I was like, first thing I need to do is get uniforms. So I found out who's going to be going up to get uniforms and boots, and I would just jump in with them and hope that nobody would notice me, and they would and then they would see me and they'd be like, who, like, I would get through a station at sometimes, and then like other times they'd be like, who the fuck are you and why are you here? Like the drill sergeants would realize they didn't recognize me, and they would send me back. And so like I remember the day that staff sergeant who was in charge of us saw me in BDUs, and she was like, where the fuck did you get those? And I was like, I got issued them, Sergeant. I'm like, I don't know. They just told me to like go get them. She's like, who told you that? And I was like, oh, I don't fucking remember their name. I played stupid so I could get all my shit. You know what I mean? Because this woman, this miserable fuck, was happy to just leave us there doing nothing, because like you could tell she didn't want to be there. She was activated. She was always like on the fucking phone with like whoever her fucking significant other was, like just gave zero fucks. And I was like, I cannot. It took me over a month of sitting there and just like
Wow.
sneaking my way around the battalion before like they finally allowed me to fill.
Damn.
So yeah, I got there in the end of, it was more than a month. So I got there September the 29th, and I filled with 161 like mid-November. I was just like, this is
Wow.
fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm trying to go in the army, and like
Yeah.
you're not even lifting a fucking finger for me, you
No.
know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, I laugh about it now, but like there's a lot of shit, like some of the shit my wife dealt with at Fort Sill when she went through that, like a lot of things that happen, like outside of, like, away from prying eyes in the basic training world, that people don't see. It's fucked up. Like my wife, she fractured her hip when she was going through basic, and she wasn't healing very fast, and they sent her over to the PTRP, the physical training and readiness program.
Yep.
um and that's generally where they put like short time drill sergeants who are about to DHAT and the shitbags. And my wife, who now she's got a lower body injury, was spending all day like out doing manual labor. Like at one point she like was crying because they had her out picking up leaves by hand all day long when she's trying to heal to go in the army. And then like nobody gives a fuck about the PTRP program. So it's just like you're in this darkest little corner of the army and nobody's really looking after you, you know?
Most hunters spend all summer shooting at a foam block, a worn out 3D target with a scoring ring or a bright orange bullseye. When that buck of a lifetime steps out at a steep quartering angle, that orange dot on the buck is nowhere to be found. You've been training for a scenario that doesn't exist. If you want to be lethal when it matters, you have to train with reality. That's why I use and recommend Dead Nuts Outdoors. They're 100% made in the USA, producing lifelike, Ultra HD, 2D targets that bring the field to your backyard. When you're talking real animal images, life-sized, and built to withstand whatever Mother Nature throws at them. Unlike traditional targets that force you into a perfect broadside shot, Dead Nuts features multiple shot angles. Because in the woods, animals are unpredictable. Dead Nuts ensures you're ready for the shot of a lifetime every time. These targets are ultralight and packable. You can throw them in the truck for hunting camp or slide them under a bed in the off season. The slogan says it all: hit the spot, not the dot. Hit it, Dead Nuts. Stop practicing, start preparing. Head over to www.deadnutsoutdoors.com and use my personal code Frontline10 to take 10% off your entire order site-wide. You can also find the link right here in the show notes. Train for the reality of the hunt. Hit it, Dead Nuts. We've all been there. You're 6 hours into a sit, the buck you're after is nowhere in sight, and your knees are absolutely barking against the bark of that tree. Most hunters just suck it up until they can't take it anymore and head for the truck. But you can't feel attack from a couch. Comfort isn't a luxury, it's a tactical advantage that keeps you in the game longer. That's why you need the knee bag by Light the Fire Outdoors. This isn't some cheap foam pad. It's a patent-pending, bead-filled design that actually molds to your knees and supports your hips. Built from ultra-tough, weatherproof Cordura, it won't soak up water or gain weight when the weather turns sideways. It features padded wings that cradle your knees and even has MOLLE attachments for your thermocellular gear. The best part? It's a multi-seasonal tool. Strap it to your body for saddle hunting, mount it to the tree as a pad, or when rifle season hits, turn it sideways. It becomes a rock-solid 15-inch tree-mounted shooting bag for those precision shots. Whether you want coyote tan or mossy oak bottomland, this is the gear that evolves with your hunt. Stop fighting your gear and start focusing on the hunt. Get yours at www.paradeandslaying.com and use my code Frontline10 to get free shipping on your order. You can also hit the link in the show notes. The knee bag, comfort, evolved, stay steady, stay ready. In the woods or on the water, it's the small details that dictate success or failure. A ruined diaphragm call or a lost fly isn't just a nuisance, it's a blown opportunity. You spend thousands on the hunt, don't lose it because you didn't protect your tools. Puck Outdoors has solved this with their 100% made in the USA and modular twist lock storage system. For the hunters, the Puck keeps your elk and turkey mouth calls protected, organized, and ready to run. No more warped reeds or searching through pockets, junk drawers, or truck floorboards. For the fisherman, the fishing Puck features a magnetic tray and 4 modular compartments to keep your hooks, flies, and weights locked down and exactly where you need them. It's compact, it's rugged, and it's built to keep your most critical gear in pre-condition season after season. The best part is they fit right in your pocket, vinyl harness, or fishing vest. Don't let poor organization be the reason you come home empty-handed. Go to puckoutdoors.com and use code Frontline10 to get yours. That's code Frontline10. You can also find the link right here in the show notes. Protect your calls, secure your tackle, puck in, pack out. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, man. Wow. See, I saw guys I went to basic with get hurt, get injured, and they're there one day, they're gone the next. And you would see them as you're going to chow, you'd see them kind of marching in the back way over here, and they'd eat over there by themselves. And then, we had guys that sit there. I can't remember what they called it back in the day. They had a platoon for them. I can't remember what they called them, but they'd be there for some of those guys there were a couple months.
Yeah.
And they were ones that, like you said, they wanted to commit suicide, stuff like that, or they got hurt. And it's like, why does it take them so long to get these guys out? It never made sense to me.
Yeah, it's some of it to me, it's a combination of things, at least with like what I see with where I'm at now. Like we even had a trainee that their like one of their congressmen showed up out of nowhere because he had been with us for like almost a year But
Wow.
in that situation, not to give out any specifics, but that trainee was kind of stepping on his own dick with a lot of bad behavior, but he was acting like it was the cadre who were mistreating him and not like getting him through. But we I've seen a handful of trainees where they come through, and it was probably prior to that trainee who they'll like they just kind of get tossed to the side, and you'll
Mhm.
have like staff duty will be in charge of them, but
Yep.
a lot of these drills, not all of them, but a significant portion of these drills, like they don't give a fuck about these trainees. They're like less than scum.
Yep.
And they treat every trainee like they're the worst case scenario. They're the malingerer or the bad attitude or the discipline problem. And some of those kids are legitimately just, like they're just hurt and they're wanting to better themselves.
Yeah.
And um but it's I don't know, man, like it's not somewhere you want to find yourself, because like when you get in that situation where you fall out of the pipeline, that's where you kind of fall between the cracks. And then like it's kind of a crapshoot, like how well you do or don't get taken care of by the cadre at that point. Like even for me, when I was going through um towards the end of MP school, I got a fucking really bad pneumonia, but I knew that if I missed certain events, it was like if I missed the phase 5 FTX, I was
Yep.
gonna get fucking recycled. And after like my experience in the 120th, I was like, I would rather die than like you know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna get recycled, it's gonna be because I fucking pass out from being ill, and then like somebody takes me to the hospital because I'm not going to sick call.
Yep.
Um, and then I mean I made it through, but like I went from like being like in pretty darn good shape. Like I think I'd just been bumped up to like A group for the runners with PT, like the fast guys, and was like
Yep.
doing okay. And then like dropped back to B group. And then they dropped me back to like I'm falling out of C group because my pneumonia was so bad.
Mhm.
Oddly enough, I got to my first company and took my first PT test after I was well again, and ran a 13-minute 2 mile, which is pretty quick.
Oh
So
yeah.
but yeah, it was just a situation. It was like I would rather not have to move back in this process whatsoever. You know.
Well, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine because it happened to me. So when I was in Alaska, I got kicked by a dog
Oh
in the
shit.
neck. Oh yeah, that's how I jacked up my neck. That's
Yeah.
why I've had 4 neck surgeries
I know. I
after.
know. I know you got a lot of hardware in there.
Yeah, dude, I just had a new plate put in last year in the back of my neck now,
Oh shit.
and it's like I got called by a supervisor up there, a malingerer, and here I am walking around. I can't feel my fingers, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I can take my shirt off, and my left side of my chest is bigger than my right side.
From the atrophy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
obviously I'm not faking this shit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I could imagine being a basic training and having that, consideration that you're a malingerer. And for
Yeah.
people that don't know what a malingerer is, pretty much it's just somebody that fakes an injury to stay out, so they don't have to train, they don't have to do anything. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it is. And
Yeah.
it's I can imagine getting that designation of basic training. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucked in active duties, and I had to prove myself. It's like, come on now, look at my past 4 PT tests compared to this one.
Sure.
I went in and did
Yeah.
like 14 push-ups. That's all I could do. I had no muscle left in my body. That's all I
Yeah.
can do. I can't do anymore. Then they finally, the Air Force got a hold of me and figured out what was going on. I was like, I told you I wasn't faking this shit. It's real.
Yeah.
Man, what was the biggest difference for you? Because I heard Fort Jackson always called Relaxing Jackson. That's what I always heard it called. From
Yeah.
buddies of mine that were stationed there. I knew people had gone to basic there. Like I said, I never went through any kind of basic AIT at Leonardwood. I went to McClellan. It was tough. I mean, it was hot because
Yeah.
I went in summertime. We
Yeah.
had we had what they call in the South mountains. They weren't real mountains, but they were big hills. We'd
Yeah.
run up
Foothills.
those,
Yeah.
yeah, every day. So
Yeah.
what was the difference for you going from there to Leonardwood? How much of a shock was it?
Um, it was they just the drill sergeants there. They had a lot less of um a tolerance for bullshit. I mean, these guys were going into, I think it was phase 4 at the time. So essentially, you're in AIT now,
Yep.
where you've already passed the basic training phase, and they were still getting their base flipped for not being perfect.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, we got the bay tossed hard like one good time, and like we got it kind
Now
of fucked up
explain to
one time
everybody
after
what
that.
that means, because I'm gonna have people that don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Sure. So as within a basic training bay, and we were in the old like World War II style, like long
Yep.
hallway style barracks.
Yep.
It's steel rack bunk beds, with like green wool blankets and like old like white linens, and a big like set of metal wall lockers at the end of your bunk. Or like sometimes the configurations were different just based on your
Yeah.
company, but
Yeah.
um you were expected, like before you guys stepped out for breakfast chow or PT in the morning, or like whatever the next thing you were doing was, like your bay had to be spotless. All the lockers are locked up, beds are made up, super tight. Everything looks exactly the same. Hospital
Yep.
corners on the beds, um, and nothing laying out in the bay. Like your extra shoes and boots had to be like under your bed, just so, and had to be just right. And drill sergeants would come through bays, and if they were feeling so inclined, if somebody left, like God forbid somebody like pushed their lock and it didn't lock in their wall locker, like they would
Yep.
take everything out of there, throw it everywhere. Like any other lockers that weren't locked, they were getting everything tossed out of them. They'd throw the mattresses and the blankets and stuff, and then like if they were feeling like a little extra pissed about it, or they really wanted to punctuate it, they would take like your shampoo and stuff like that, and they'd squirt it all over the floor, because now that nice clean polished floor that you guys have to make sure is good to go every day, like now it's all
Yep.
fucked up. And they would just make chaos. I mean, they throw trash cans and everything like that. So, but it was to remind you that, like, small things make big differences when it counts. And basic training may not
Yep.
seem like it counts, but that's the place where we're teaching you this lesson. You know what I mean? And so,
Attention to detail.
yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, like, you've been downrange. It doesn't take anything. Like I knew a dude I was downrange with who, like, hopped out of a Humvee, because we were on kind of a flash checkpoint on a bolo, and he had put his weapon on semi, and when he realized like everything was okay, like he went to let his rifle dangle, and it was still on semi, and it got caught on his kit, and he put a round in between his feet. You know what I mean? So,
Damn.
the little things matter. You know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that's why they do that stuff. And it's, once you figure out that it's a game, it's not as stressful.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that was one of the big differences, was in MP school, those drill sergeants were a lot less lenient about things.
Yep.
I mean, like, I remember we got smoked from like the middle of the night until like 4 in the morning one day, because one of the drill sergeants found a male and a female fraternizing, and
Oh.
and the drill sergeant that was on CQ made us all pay, and they're like, we didn't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I was asleep. You know what I mean? Like, what do I have to do with it? And I mean, she smoked the dog shit out of us for hours, just mercilessly. So, um, but yeah, I mean,
Uh,
but I don't know. The other thing too is, like, MPs do things a little differently than most everybody else. Like, they're, for the most part, like, MPs are used to, particularly with like law enforcement, having a microscope on them. So MPs are like, you have less margin for error than anybody else, because
yep.
you're enforcing the law against other people who are also in the uniform, many of whom are going to outrank you. And if you don't do this job as a consummate professional, you're gonna hear about it. You know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so you
Oh
so
yeah.
you get why they do that.
Oh yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head when you said it's all a game. As soon as you learn that, it changes for you.
Yeah.
And I saw guys in my basic training class that just could not wrap their head around that idea.
Yeah.
It's all a mind fuck is all it is. They take you from being a straight off the street high school kid, and they want to turn you into a soldier. They've got to break you down to build you back up. And guys couldn't grasp that. And those are the ones that always, I'm going to kill myself right now. Dude, it's a game. Play the game. Yeah. Play the game. You're here for 16 weeks. If you put your head down, keep your mouth shut, do what you're told, and just play the game, 16 weeks will fly by.
Yeah.
This will be one of the best experiences you'll ever do if you just play the game. But you get those guys that want to rebel, you're going to hate life. You're going to hate life every single day, and you're going to be here longer than 16 weeks because you're going to get washed back 3 or 4 times. You're going to be here 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Now that you talk about flipping bays, it reminds me of a time where, I don't know about you guys, but for us, we had a class on how to spit shine boots.
Yeah.
And we would sit down in the CTA and spit shine our boots. Well, pretty much they told us if you want to talk, you can talk to your neighbor right next to you, right behind you, but don't get loud. Keep it down, keep the noise down, whatever. Well, we weren't doing that. Guys were talking loud. It was conversation would get out of control. So they put us all at attention, made us put on our newly spit shine boots, went upstairs to the bay. Like you said, we're up there buffing that floor all the time. So it's shining.
Yeah.
We would low crawl underneath the bottom bunk on one rack, get to the next rack. You'd go over that bunk, come down, make sure you scuff your feet across the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Go crawl under the next, go up over the other one, underneath, all the way around. We did that for probably an hour. Man, our floor looked like it had been caked in mud for months.
Yeah.
Then get out the toothbrush, go to town on the floors, start cleaning the floors then. But we learned to shut up. So the next time we were down there on the CTA doing something like that, everybody shut up because we didn't want to do it again. And I mean, man, they flipped our bunks. I don't know how many times. Cause like I said, I went all in the same place for the whole time. And I'd say probably in the first month, they probably flipped our bunks probably 6, 7 times easily in a month.
Yeah.
Until you, and it could all just be because, you got to put your shoes all on, all in line, dress right dress. Somebody's shoe could be a half inch higher than the other one.
Yeah.
Attention to detail. Or like you said, wall lockers. Oh, man. God. They went up there one day, found somebody's wall locker wide open. He didn't even shut it. I don't know if he just got out of the latrine late, whatever. Left it wide open. Dude, they got his kiwi, went all across the floor.
Oh, yeah.
All across the floor. Man, just threw all his stuff. Our drill sergeants one time, we had, I'm going to say like half our platoon had to go down to the medical clinic for something. I can't remember what it was. And while they were down there, one of our guys got in trouble while at the clinic doing something stupid.
Yep.
Come back, and they're down there cussing us out. We had, I think we had 3 drill sergeants for our platoon, I believe. I think it was 3. Yeah, we had 4. We had 4 at the start, and one was done with his cycle. So he left, so we were down to 3. They're down there smoking our asses on the CTA, and we're watching our stuff from our bay fly out the windows. Sheets, blankets, our laundry bags, because you always had to have your laundry bag tied up at the end of your bed.
At the end of your rack, it had to be twisted around just right.
Yep. It had to be. Yep, exactly. Both cords going around it had to be exactly even. Had the same amount of lines coming off of it. Man, it was just, attention to detail. Yeah. And man, they tore our bay apart. Furniture thrown out, just everything thrown out the windows. We're just watching it all hit, and we had to carry it all back up and put everything back together.
Yeah.
God, that sucked, but it was part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of
it. Yeah, and you for all the people who understand not to get emotionally invested in it, you're fine. You're it's just another day. There's a limited number of days these people can do this to me. And I just have to make it to that point. But you would still have people that they were still getting wrapped around the axle about stuff, even at the end. And had a buddy who was in my first platoon. We both reported to the 463rd together. there was some fucking chirping going on between our bay and the bay next to us amongst some dudes, and like their guys came over and they were like, you know, wanting to talk some people into fighting and this, that, and the third. And I kind of laughed. And this dude who like wound up being, you know, a pretty good friend of mine for a while. I just, you know, fell out of contact with him over the years, but he saw me kind of like laugh, and he's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" I was like, "Dude, we got 11 days, 11 days, and we're out of here." And he's like, "I'll fucking fight you too." And I was like, "No, you won't. I'm fucking leaving. I don't like this isn't happening." You know what I mean? Like, how long have you been here? How much longer do you want to make this process? You know, and it's just like,
Exactly.
you know, and it's just, but it's a really weird environment, man, because like you have like such a like this weird dynamic of like people across different ages, kids who have never been out from underneath their mommy and daddy,
Yeah.
and like you'll get this weird like dynamic of like cliques and stuff like that, and like you'll start to get like these weird beefs amongst trainees and shit, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just like a weird, it's a really weird environment. I don't like I don't envy anybody going through it now, because it seems like a lot of kids now are like super immature about stuff, and
Yep.
the weird thing is I see a lot of guys coming through that are in their 30s, and I can't like those guys' patience must be tested to the absolute limit with like seeing just how dumb some of these kids act. You know what I mean? Where like these guys are grown. Like we have dudes come from other countries that are giving up like successful businesses to come and
Wow.
like, you know, try to get their citizenship. And I can't imagine like these guys who have it together enough to be successful in another country, seeing like our dumbass couch potato 18-year-olds who don't know how to behave if their mom's not yelling at them or throwing a fucking sandal at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It blows my mind, man. It's, I went to Leonard Wood in, like I said, 2012, and I was there for 2 years as an instructor. I thought, man, no, I can't
Yeah.
do this. I got to start looking for another job. I got to get out of here. I can't deal with trainees all day.
Yeah.
Can't do
They
it.
have you up there at STEM Village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just, man, oh my God. I just never, well, so my first experience with Leonard Wood was going there as an instructor.
Yeah.
And my first day, I walk in the PX, I'm in uniform, privates everywhere,
Yeah.
sitting on their cell phones. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You guys have your cell phones?
Yep.
I mean, they're just walking around, no drill sergeants around, just free as a bird. I was like, what the hell? I didn't get this kind of freedom until I graduated basic training.
Yeah.
I was at my first duty station, and I was still terrified to walk around by myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, nah. I told my wife, I went home. I was like, okay, we got 2 years here, and I'm out. I'm not staying longer. I said, this place is not for me. I want to get somewhere else where I can get in the real Army. That's what I have to do.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, as you probably know from your time there, like there's a lot of when you're a cadre member around these trainees, they are very rigid about like how you can and can't interact with the trainees.
Yeah.
And there's some heavy pitfalls to be walked into if you're not careful. Like, and all it takes is like, you say one wrong thing to a trainee, and maybe even not, it's not necessarily the wrong thing, but you're catching a complaint, and the next thing you know, like you're getting plucked from your job because you're under investigation, and Lord knows how long that's going to take. And it can be a tough environment. You know what I mean? Like I've even found myself at times, like when I'd be helping out, like taking trainees back and forth to appointments. Because I'm an MVO. I know I didn't mention that yet. I'm just a driver. I got my CDL shortly after I got out of the Army, and then came back to Fort Jackson after doing some civilian work for a while. But I'd be taking trainees to appointments, and they don't really know much about the process. Like they'd be in the process of like going through a med board, and they don't know anything, and they would be asking me questions. And I'd always follow up, like, I'll give you some advice, but like I can't tell you guys what to do and not to do, because the last thing I need is for you guys to go back to your companies and be like, the guy over there with the beard, he told me that, I need to be doing this, that, or the third. And so, because it's just like, you just never know around the trainees what you'll catch some heat for.
Yeah.
Even if you're on your P's and Q's.
Well, Leonard would too. When I got there, if you were an instructor or a drill sergeant, you had to go sit in this class given by a sergeant major.
Yeah.
And he would tell you what you can and can't do. And we had to carry a little book around with us in our chest pockets all the time. And it's like, we couldn't call him private. That was degrading. We had to call him warrior. No, we couldn't call him trainee.
Oh yeah, you were the warrior era. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like
they're a warrior, but they haven't been to war yet.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, are you kidding me? So I raised my hand. I'm one of those guys. I got to ask questions. I need to know. So I raised my hand. Sergeant Major called me. I stood up, went to parade rest. I'm like, Sergeant Major, how do I address you? He's like, well, you call me by my rank, Sergeant Major. I said, Sergeant Major, how will you address me? He told me. I said, okay. Well, that's their rank. So why wouldn't I address them by their rank? Well, private just sounds degrading. So we're trying to, we don't want to add extra stress to them. Can't call him hero. Can't call him any of that other stuff you used to call him today. And it's got to be warrior. And I'm sitting there like, they haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. So they're not a warrior yet.
Yeah. And like my opinion is, if somebody calling you by your rank feels degrading to you, you're in the wrong profession.
Exactly. 100%.
If you're a private, hey, I'm a fucking private. If you're a specialist, it might not be much, but I'm better than the fucking privates. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if you're a sergeant, like, hey, great, you're a fucking sergeant. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a staff sergeant, hey, great. You know what I mean? Like, if being called by your rank bothers you, then like maybe fuck off somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like,
seek employment elsewhere.
Yeah. And now I will say it's not a bad setup. They call them all trainee because that's what they are. You're a trainee, so and I don't even think they have any of them wearing rank. Like, I don't even think the ones that come in as specialists get to wear any rank.
That's what one of the drill sergeants I talked to at Leonard Wood, he was on here. I think we talked for like 3 hours, man, because he had done all these different cycles, so he had saw all kinds of stuff trainees are doing now. And he said that too. He's like, yeah, they don't even wear rank for the first. I think all through basic training they're not allowed to wear rank until they get to AIT. If I remember right, that's what he says. They put it on then at AIT. I was like, okay, that makes sense. That way everybody's even across the board. Yeah, okay.
I think the only time our kids wear them are when they're in their dress uniform, because they obviously set their dress uniform up appropriately for whatever rank they are. And I think that's it. They may have rank on for Family Day when they're in their OCPs, but I think that's it. So, but yeah, life is like, the environment is big time different from when I went through 23 years ago. You know what I mean? Standards are different. The training pipeline is different. But you expect it's the Army. You expect it to change and adapt to what what they need it to be more mission effective. But I don't know. It seems a lot. Maybe not a lot, but it seems at least a little bit less rigorous than what I remember.